So let's take a look at the relationship between decimals and fractions for just a minute. Here we have represented one whole piece of something. We can show that as 1 over 1. In other words, we have one whole and we have one part of the whole. That's equal to 1 or equal to 1.0. Basically, when we look at a decimal, anything to the left of the decimal is representing whole portions, tens, hundreds, thousands, and so on. As we look at the decimal to the right of the decimal, we're looking at parts of a whole in tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and so on. Let's take a look at this picture and show the relationship between the fraction. We have 10 pieces here, and the blue is representing 3 of those 10 pieces, so we have 3 tenths. We can also express that as a decimal with 0.3. That also means 3 tenths. We have 100 pieces here, and we represent this red piece as one of those 100 pieces. In decimal form, that's represented as 0.01. We have 1 in the hundredths column. Here's a comparison or showing 1 and 5 tenths. Okay, we have one whole piece and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those tenths, which is also equal to 1 1/2 and also equal to 1.5. The 1 representing the one whole portion and the 0.5 representing the 5 portions of the 10 equal pieces.
Okay, we're going to start talking about decimals, and we're going to review for a minute. We can express decimals a number of ways. Of course, we have the decimal point. Everything this side to the right of the decimal point is less than 1. Okay. Decimal points are not that hard to work with. Okay. Another way of expressing 1 100th is in a fraction form, 1 100th. Or we can show that as 1%. So these are different ways of expressing the same thing. But for today, we're going to talk about decimals. Okay? So again, remember, everything to the right is less than 1. These are tenths and these are hundredths. We're going to show you how to add and subtract decimals. It's pretty simple adding and subtracting decimals. All you have to do is keep the decimal lined up. So let's say we had 2.35 plus 4.26. This is no different than adding up doing a regular calculation and addition. The only thing is you want to make sure you bring your decimal point down to start with. If it's something that you're going to forget, do it first thing. Then all we do is add. 5 and 6 is 11, carry the 1, 4 and 2 is 6, 2 and 4 is 6. So 2.35 plus 4.26 is 6.61. Okay, let's do a subtraction example. All right, 8.23 minus 4.12. Okay, first thing, before you do anything else, just bring the decimal down. And then go ahead and do your calculations. 3 minus 2 is 1, 2 minus 1 is 1, 8 minus 4 is 4. 4.11, so 8.23 minus 4.12 is 4.11. So now let me put one on the board and you go ahead and try it. Okay, so we're going to have you do a one addition problem and one subtraction problem today, just to make sure that you've got how to do it. All right, so let's take 6.45 plus 3.62, and we'll take 123.60 minus 4.12. So go ahead and do those on your own. Okay, so let's look at the answers and make sure. And again, for most of you, this is going to be pretty easy. We have 6.45 times 3.62, and the first thing we do is draw the decimal. Okay, 5 plus 2 is 7, 4 plus 6 is 10, it goes up here, 7 plus 3 is 10. So 10.07 should be your first answer. Then you have 123 and 6 100ths, 123.60 minus 46.60. Okay, again, the first thing, just bring your decimal down so you don't forget it. 0 minus 0 is 0, 6 minus 6 is 0. Okay, we have to borrow from the 2 here. 13 minus 6 is 7. Okay, and then 11 minus 4 is 7. Borrow from that. So you should have 77.00.